And welcome to post-match reaction to the Pumas versus the Wallabies. It finished 17-32. Yes, a comfortable win for the Wallabies to make it 4 on the bounce in this Rugby Championship. So a good run of form for the Wallabies after those 2 losses to the All Blacks. They've racked up 2 wins against the world champions Springboks and then 2 wins against the Pumas. So they had 2 draws with last year from memory, I think it was. So a cracking end to the Rugby Championship and to their local or domestic international season for the Wallabies. That's their last game on Australian soil before they go on their tour now with, I think it's Japan up next for them. In that first half, you've got to say that the Wallabies, early on, we had a couple of missed penalties from both sides, but the Wallabies really did take a hold of this game and never really looked like losing it, to be honest. Clearly, the yellow card for Lavanini, the most carded man in international rugby. I think that's like 4 yellows and 2 reds from his 66 games. So I don't know if it's one more than that or not. But anyway, it's something like that for his international things. If you follow me on Twitter at Driving Maul, you can see that we were discussing that during the game. That was when really the Wallabies went up because they got their first try on 27 minutes with that line out maul and finding going over and picking up yet another try. Then we had a real nice set move off the line out, finding out looping round the fake maul, gives it to Valentini, who's on a great line, who goes through. Valentini sees a couple of defenders in front of him after he's through the line, gives it to Kellaway, and Kellaway goes over and scores. Kellaway in a fantastic run of scoring, and I jokingly put on Twitter that what a great finishing school Counties Manukau has been, because I remember seeing him in the NPC a couple of years ago at Counties, and really did not see this kind of level of form from him. So he's had definitely having a breakout season and having a fantastic season with the Wallabies. I think it's 7 or 8 tries now he's scored this season. Cracking, I say, having a cracking time. As they said on commentary at half-time, look, a player who knows what he can do and sticks to it and does what he can do well. He doesn't try to overplay his hand. He's in the right place at the right time and not making mistakes, which is a great attribute of a player, to know what you can do and to execute on that. Argentina bashed away towards the end of that first half, but just couldn't get over that line. So some really good defence by the Wallabies at that point, because the game was still in the balance at half-time or going into half-time. Wallabies with 91% tackling really did a good job today on that side of things. Also, you've got to be impressed with the Wallabies scrum. Dominant in this one. 6 from 6 on their own put in, but stole a couple of the on the Argentinian put in. By that I mean got a penalty or whatever out of it. So 2 positive results out of 5 against the Argentinian put in. So that's a fantastic result for the Wallabies on that side of things. Went in at half time at 3-15. Look, it always felt like the Wallabies were going to win this one. It was a bit of a difficult watch if you didn't have any skin in the game, which, let's be honest, I don't in this one. Purely a neutral. This game isn't going to decide who wins the Rugby Championship. We all knew coming into this one that Australia were probably going to win. They were big favourites for this one, even with their historical struggling or banana skin of a team that Argentina has been for them. Especially with Argentina missing those 6 players as well from their squad. So everything going into this we knew Australia were going to win, and look, they delivered, and that's really kind of the important piece in this one. It's Nocturnal Rights is in the live chat. And I thank you for joining me. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, I go live straight after these games on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you want to listen, if you want to watch the show and give some input, he says it's only small things that make the difference. It's easy when the little things are going wrong to look like a very ordinary player out there. Well, things are definitely going the right way for Kellaway at the moment. He got a hat trick, picking up 2 more tries in the second half. One of those again off a really nicely worked set move off line out. Clearly, the attack coach is doing a great job there. The scrum coach, the forwards coach, is doing a fantastic job there as well. So the Wallabies looking really in a good place at the moment. Also, starting to show a bit of depth as well. You think about some of the injured players who are starting to miss. So Korobiti wasn't there tonight, for example. Also Banks as well. Two players who have been first choice and consistently selected in the back three. So we saw Hodge coming in and Pataya. So really good to see also that, look, they haven't just got 15 or 23 players. They're starting to build a little bit of depth and players coming in now and still keeping the same level of performance. And Alatoa, for example, is missing as well through paternity leave. So a number of positives here for this for Dave Rennie and the Wallabies squad. Kellaway also showed good strength for his second try, so it's not just set moves that he can finish on. He finished on that one as well, and by then, let's be honest, the game was kind of gone. A couple of worries: Karevi going off with his bang knee. Clearly, that's going to be a bit of a worry for them. Also, running out of backs are to come off the bench, which meant they end up with 9 forwards on for the last sort of 10 or so minutes of the game. The commentators going, "Oh, it'll be important that they keep their structures or keep their shape." Sorry. How can you expect a team to keep its shape when it's got 9 forwards on? Come on, don't be silly, boys. You know they're going to lose their shape. You know they're not going to be flowing at that point. It's a matter of just seeing out the game. You're 3-32 up at that point. Just see out the game, get the win, and put it to bed. This idea of them trying to keep their shape, keep their attacking shape, not when you've got 9 forwards on. It's not going to happen. Argentina, at that point, what you expect them to do is to move the ball wide, really, and look to get that mismatch as to where is that forward in the back line, or are you going to get an overlap? Is someone going to misalign, commit themselves on the attack? On defense. But we didn't see that. That's not how Argentina scored their tries. Line outs and then getting that pick and go forward going at pace and just flooding that channel was how they scored their 2 tries. And momentarily, they looked like very much a big outside chance of a bit of a comeback. But it wasn't going to be. AK's gone and said, "Yeah, Australia have great potential, but hard to judge exactly how good they are against such a passive defensive system that Argentina uses." Well, you say that, but actually, look, Dave Rennie's got a fantastic record now against non-New Zealand teams, in all honesty. And you've got to say that, this Wallabies team is, look, it's a developing team. It's a new team. It's one that has got a little bit of depth, but not very much. In all honesty, it's one that's building combinations, because why we've seen pretty much the same team rolled out every single game is that Dave Rennie is building those combinations, building up that first team, and then he'll, and where he has to through injuries or other reasons, he's replacing players. But until he's got that team happy and settled and doing well, he's not going to start switching things around, which I think is the right thing to do. So, yes, I think we can safely say that, look, this Australian team is looking good, but a couple of injuries and they could be they could struggle a little bit. But bringing players like Skelton, Rory Arnold into the fold on the November tour will really help them out. Lock is the one area that you've got to say they are looking a little bit light. Tupu, let's be honest, he had a poor day today. His passing was off. He passed it, hit the grass several times. He passed into touch as well. I think about twice. His tackling at times. There wasn't much wrapping arm. Let's be honest, but he got away with it. So hey, if you're getting away with it, and the referee lets you do it, then it's legal at the end of the day. So, something you might want to look at in that one. Clearly, putting the work rate in, putting the effort in, but things just weren't working out for him tonight. He just had a poor game. These things happen, but I'm sure he'll. He's not going to be dropped for anything silly like that. We'll see better from him ongoing. He's played quite a few minutes now that Alatoa's been away. and probably that's taking its toll as well, tiring them out. On the Pumas side of things, well, look, they'll be happy that this is all over. Let's be honest; they've been on the road in a bubble for a long time now, from through those July tests where they played Romania and Wales, then down into South Africa, then across obviously to Australia. I think they'll just be glad and happy that this is now over, and that they can go home. A lot of them will end up having to go back to European teams and playing there before getting dragged back into the Argentina setup for those November tests as well. It's good, a real tiring time for those players. They really could look like I think they could do with a rest at this point. So yeah, look, it's been a real poor season for the Pumas. Look, unlike last year, where they were all together, having come out from the Jaguares, and before they all sort of headed off to Europe and to their different clubs, and it worked really, really well. Now that those different clubs are having to come back and go back to those clubs, I think we're going to see basically, an Argentinian team that's going to struggle between Rugby World Cups, and it's going to improve during Rugby World Cup years when they have that long run up into Rugby World Cup. I think they'll be dangerous, but in between times, I think they are going to struggle in that one. Nocturnal rights. Yeah, Michael Hooper, fantastic player, top draw. Even if he did pick up a yellow card for repeat infringements at the end there, playing all the way through to the end, you've got to say not giving up. Apart from that, as I say, not the most the easiest one to watch, because you knew what the result was always going to be. So it's easy to switch off and perhaps not pick up on some of the technicalities and things. But well done to Australia, clearly heading into November Test series with in a good way. Japan up next, should be another win. Let's be honest. We'll see if, or does Dave Rennie decide that's a good time to start looking at other players, or does he keep building these combinations? And I think maybe those combinations are where he goes. We'll have to wait and see how that one pans out. So congratulations to the Wallabies, great for the season. For the Pumas, well, off you go, lick your wounds and have a rest. But unfortunately, there's not going to be much of that, I don't think, for a lot of the players. And in about 48 minutes, we will have the Springboks versus the All Blacks in that 101st Test match. So looking forward to that one. Kicks off at 11 p.m. here in New Zealand. I will try and do a post-match reaction to that one at 1 a.m. in the morning. But look, it's going to depend on how that game goes and how awake I am, in all honesty, if that one does happen or not. We did. The kick return the Argentina players has gone. Yeah, look, we did have some kick tennis, didn't we, at times during this one. And the Pumas didn't manage to get much from that. As you've said, Zelby says, Argentina are tired. They need a 3-month rest at home. Unfortunately, that's not what they're going to get as they all return to their European clubs and get flogged even more. Look, we need a global season. We need player welfare to be at the front of that, with financial stability next as well alongside that. But hey, that's another rabbit hole, a topic for a discussion on another one. So have a good night, folks. Enjoy the next game up, and I'll have a chat with you after the Springboks versus the All Blacks.